fellow travelers along the path of the beam. I am known on this level of the tower as Jaime and Fuego, that tower to be exact. And if it please you, join me here for some special palaver on Hail to Stephen King, my favorite author, as you can see by that massive tower of books behind me. That's right, I have read every single Stephen King book, and it is my pleasure and honor to finally be getting to sit down with all of you and check out the teaser trailer, even though it's like 3 minutes, yeah, 2 minutes 55 seconds, and still designated as a teaser. The fan base has been fervent as fuck for this, and can you blame them? I mean, It Chapter 1 was not just a re-emergence of Stephen King into the mainstream, but it was like a reaffirmation of just how people are scared as shit of clowns, still to this day, and just how much the original miniseries messed people up, you know, all those years ago, back in 1990, and I still personally love it. I think it holds up a lot better than some people were just kind of disregarding it and not giving it its proper due credit for, but I mean, Tim Curry, iconic, the stuff with the kids is great. It's debatable, you know, some of the creature effects at the end of the miniseries and stuff, but I mean, I think the Halloween 3 season of The Witch Director did a great job with it. Tommy Lee Wallace, I want to say off the top of my head, but I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that, you know, fellow travelers, constant viewers, and readers alike. But I normally do Hail to Stephen King on Tuesday and on Saturday, every terrifying Tuesday, every spooktacular Saturday. But this week, since it was the 25th anniversary of the Stand miniseries, we did it on Wednesday instead, and then, Saturday, everything will be back to normal. But this is a special situation, so unfortunately Cecil demanded that the trailer be reacted to as early as possible, and so you already have seen that from him, but this is some special palaver with yours truly. I've hosted over 150 episodes of Hail to Stephen King on a various range of topics in the last few years, so let's get these headphones on and let's see what this is all about now, shall we? Quite curious. I love the casting. They actually, some of my dream casting transpired because I said I wanted James McAvoy as Big Bill, and I got him. So, and Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader. I mean, this is quite a cast that's been assembled, and so let's see how this is all shaping up. Now, I don't know if this is a red band or a green band trailer, but I'm sure we will know with the quickness what is going down. So let's check it out. Chastain, right off the bat.
I used to live here.
Oh. Yep, we're gonna have flashbacks with the kids.
Come in. It's the least I can do.
Oh, this was such a great point. Great part in the last one.
Well, you feel free to look around while I get the water boiled.
Yeah, get some.
Your hair is winter.
Yeah.
January.
Heartburn's there too. Oh. This is such a scary scene in both the book and the original miniseries, this creepy transformation. Oh boy.
There you go. Now some music.
Ooh, what do we got? What do we got?
I do apologize. It gets so very hot here this time of year.
It's fine.
Ooh, I like the
I
cup.
feel like you could just about die. But you know what they say about Derry? No one who dies here ever really dies.
Creepy! Bevy is just like, the fuck? Blank stare.
But tell me, how is it being back in Derry?
Strange.
I bet.
Strange?
A lot of stuff you'd repressed and forgotten about. Ew.
I had some cookies in the oven before you came. Stay right there.
I shouldn't impose. I'm gonna.
No.
So this is more like just a full-on scene right here.
Miss Kirsch, are these your family?
I came to this country with $14 in his pocket.
What did he do, Mrs. Kirsch?
My father joined the circus.
Oh boy. Nice. Is she naked?
I was always Daddy's little girl. What about you? Are you still his little girl, Beverly? Are you?
I thought so. Ah! There they are. Nice. I like that reflection shot.
The Losers Club has officially begun.
You can do this, but we have to stick together.
Oh, there's our lumberjack. Oh, the big old blood scene she was talking about.
Hello.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, experience it in IMAX. It in IMAX. So we saw a flurry of images there at the very end. Really, this, despite the length, it really just ended up being that creepy scene where Bevy returns to the house that she grew up in and, you know, had the abuse from her father going down and all the weirdness that we obviously got a taste of in, you know, in the first portion of this story and that we learn a little bit more about in the book. But, yeah, the scene was effective, especially with the nudity. I mean, that was like, and just the scurrying in the back, it almost gave me like a bit of a Hereditary type vibe in some ways. And I mean, creepy old nudity is always effective as far as just getting a rise out of you. So yeah, I'm curious how the entirety of that's going to play out. But yeah, it was essentially, at the end of the day, we got what seemed like nearly a full scene, or at least a good chunk of that scene, and then just a flurry of images. We saw Chastain drowning in all of that blood. Boy, what else? I mean, we saw the dueling kiss, you know, between her and Big Bill. You know, I wonder if we were actually going to see some flashbacks to some proper stuttering. They didn't really utilize it the way I was hoping in the last one. But then we see the kiss. Are they actually going to hook up like they do in the book, like they did not in the original miniseries? Like, in the original miniseries, they downplayed the fact that, you know, in the book, Bill cheats on his wife. You know, he sleeps with Bevy even though Bevy ends up with Ben. It's just, it's weird. I'm really curious how much this script is going to, we know it's going to be more like the actual original source material, and the fact that it's going to flash back and forth as opposed to chapter 1, which is what we're calling it at this point, that essentially just, you know, stuck with the kids the entire time. The format of the book in the original miniseries was you would get a chunk of the, you know, adult version and then it would be a flashback. So I'm actually much more excited about the fact that that's what we're going to actually be getting here. Still though, I really, Gary Doberman, I want to say the guy's name is, he more or less did a polish on the Cary Fukunaga script, and Cary Fukunaga, you know, he was the dude from True Detective that did such an impressive job with, I mean, he was originally going to be directing it, and then, yeah, due to creative differences, he wanted to film in New York, and, you know, a few other things, he left the project, and then, you know, they brought in the gentleman, Mr. Muchetti, who did such a great job, at least visually, but I do feel like the tone, and there is a massive amount of importance that was put to page initially by Cary, and, you know, Gary just kind of came in and, you know, did a little tinkering here and there, because I've read the various forms of the script that we had, you know, done by a couple different people, and the finished product was actually, at least in my estimation, very similar to Cary's first draft. And so with Doberman being the only one scripting this sequel, I didn't particularly love The Nun, and, you know, I don't know, the stuff that he's done I really have not been immensely impressed by, but he's a protege of James Wan's, and he's got his hands in all kinds of different horror properties, so I don't know, I guess I'm going to try to be hopeful, but visually it looks supremely cinematic, fantastic, just like we got in the previous one. You know, Andy and his sister Barbara, they did a great job with the directing and the production, you know, just you know, kind of sibling duo-y awesomeness that they did, and I love the cast in this. So we saw a little bit of the, you know, them all cheersing at the Chinese restaurant, which is a scene that I know was screened at, I believe it was it Comic-Con last year? Perhaps, has it really been that long already? I know it was one of the major events where, like, that scene, at least in a rough form, was shown in its entirety. So, obviously, if we've got naked women scuttling around and stuff like that, just like in the first part of the story 2 years ago, we are definitely going to see the R rating fully embraced, and there's a couple things that I'm just really, and some beats with them as kids that we did not see before at all that I'm really hoping we're gonna get to check out. I hope we get the smoke out trip out where it just ends up being, I mean, just two of our losers at the very end, you know? We've got Richie and Hanlon, and they're the ones who actually get to the point where they see the arrival in like prehistoric times of the Pennywise entity. Everybody's obviously hoping for the, you know, ritual of the chud and stuff. How psychedelic they will actually make it, really up to speculation. But Andy has said on record that we're not going to get any turtle action, you know, which is kind of a bummer. But that's the tie-ins with the larger multiverse, the Kingverse as I call it, all that Dark Tower stuff. So I guess, you know, I'm not surprised, you know, that he wants to make this a little bit more contained and you know, condensed and stuff like that. But as a whole, you know, I thought it looked pretty good, but it didn't like absolutely wow the hell out of me. I did find the bevy scene with the witch and everything just incredibly creepy and unsettling, but hey, then again, I thought it was done really well in the TV miniseries too, you know? So it was more so unsettling than just almost like the weird grossness factor that we got in this. But yeah, as I've said, the cast is great, and I'm really hopeful that on September 6th, audiences go out in droves like they did previously. Will this trailer break the internet like the previous one did? I'm really curious about that. And that was one of the most viewed pieces of content we have ever had here on the horror show. Boy, it was in like at the end of the day, 60, 70,000, something crazy like that. So the interest level in this, the way it broke so many records at the box office, the way it's highest grossing horror movie ever, not adjusted for inflation, obviously, that would still be The Exorcist or Jaws probably or something, but as far as actual dollar bills, y'all, yeah, biggest opening and lots of other records. Will this have the Avengers factor? Will this be the end game to Infinity War? Is it just gonna crush that insanely? I'm really curious, honestly. I really truly am, and I'm curious just how much more we're actually going to get from the book that we did not see previously in the miniseries, and I'm wondering what sort of little tinkering and, you know, curveballs they're going to throw us, because just like in the previous one, they did a few things that were not in the book, and that besides just updating, you know, the time from the 50s to the 80s, which with the Stranger Things, you know, buzz and all that stuff, it made sense. But I love the duality that they went for in this trailer. The scene where, you know, just standing the adult losers and looking at the reflection in the mirror and seeing all themselves as kids, very effective. And I already mentioned, you know, the kid and the adult kissing of, you know, Bev and Bill and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very excited, but once again, I'm trying to temper enthusiasm, not get too crazy with the hopes up, because while I really enjoyed the previous one 2 years ago, I wasn't like head over heels over the moon for it. Cecil, if I remember correctly, I think he said it was his favorite horror movie of the year. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't like love the hell out of it like certain other people did. So I'm you know, I'm proceeding cautiously. You know, the burden of expectation, it's something that I talk about not just here on Hail to Stephen King, but very often, and it's real shizzle, man. It legitimately is. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it just one more time and just give a little bit more running commentary here. But yeah, as a whole, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I've seen a few people already just going bonkers about this, but I don't know, y'all. What did you think? I'm really just genuinely curious, and yes, temper that enthusiasm. That's what I'm warning everybody, especially with just a different writer taking the sole reins of this here. But yeah, just the scuttling in the background. It's creepy. Super creepy. I like the casting of Chastain though. I was originally saying I wanted Bryce Dallas Howard for this, but yeah, the precursor with the flies and everything. Sticky and nasty and hot with all the flies and all that nastiness. And this is definitely a creepy bit where she says everyone who dies in Derry doesn't really die. And then just the strange staring without the blinking, the eyes getting blacker and blacker and creepier and crazier, and Chastain looks very, very uncomfortable. Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard, I would have dug that, but Chastain's a hell of an actress. She was great in Mama. The more dramatic stuff I've seen, not in the horror communities. Effective. Yeah, seeing that grossness on the chest is that's effective. It's gross.
And pose. I'm gonna.
See if there's anything else once we get rolling past this scene that really just sticks out to me. Sticks out to me thoroughly. Yeah, those twins are hella creepy, I gotta say.
Mrs. Kirsch.
Very much so. Very much so. My father joined the circus. That's a creepy touch. That I really, really dig. And the black and white and, you know, the Pennywise thing. Yeah, look at that. She does not look like a happy little girl. She's got the scars on her face and stuff, like she's had the crap kicked out of her. And then we see the scuttling in the background.
His little girl, Beverly? Are you?
Are you? Yeah, nice shot. Yep, there they all are.
It's me and the Losers Club has officially begun.
Yeah, see some Georgie in the drain. I can't wait to see the Paul Bunyan scene. That's gonna be dope. The tearing of the face looks crazy. I dig that. Bevy drowning in all that blood, man. It's definitely effective.
Hello.
And that little audio cue that was just so effective. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Boy, I hope the press screening is in IMAX. I'll be really disappointed if that's not the case. But I guess we shall see, everybody. So that's more or less my thoughts on all of this. It looks great. It looks great, but I'm not going crazy. I'm not going crazy, but I'm very excited. So what did all of you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious. Am I not giving this all of the credit that all of you think it deserves? But hey, I approach with cautious optimism, as I said once again. So I have been Jaime and Fuego. You can find me on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where I have my own personal channel called Infuegotainment. If you just search Infuegotainment, you can find all of the different reviews that I have been doing since I kind of relaunched the channel earlier this year. I did coverage of all 8 of the best pictures at the Oscars this year. I've been doing some Star Wars coverage, and then usually about every week I try to do a new film. This weekend I will be doing the Detective Pika, whatever, choo-choo, but you don't give 2 craps about that. You're here because you like creepy clowns and scary shizzle. So if you haven't subscribed here to the horror show, please do so. Porfa y gracias. We do at least 1, sometimes 2 episodes every single day. That's right, peeps. And yes, it's always so much spooktacular fun. Trailer reactions like this, film reviews, convention coverage. We just got back from Texas Frightmare recently, which was rad status. And then, as I said once again, hail to Stephen King twice a week. If you want to check out my 150 plus back catalog episodes where I talk about everything from counting down all of King's books in the decades to my favorites, my least favorites, from everything from, you know, full novels to, you know, novellas and short stories, and all the coverage I've already done about, you know, casting for It Chapter 2, and, you know, discussions about it a year after it's come out, and that horrible Dark Tower movie. I mean, there's literally so much that I've done in the nearly 3 years that I have been doing Hail to Stephen King. It's a pleasure, and it is an honor to share this palaver with all of you. So, yeah, I guess that is going to be the end of all of this crazy coverage, at least until the next trailer drops, and hopefully I will actually be able to do that along with Cecil and maybe some other members of the crew, but unfortunately it's all about striking while the iron is hot, and yeah, Cecil just had to bust that balloon as early as possible today. Wish I could have done it with him, but hey, I wasn't about to miss out on giving my thoughts in this discussion and analysis all about the trailer. So I guess that's gonna do it, y'all, and until the Wheel of Ka comes around once more, I shall say hasta luego, cinemigos, and constant readers and viewers alike. I am hopeful that we get together sooner rather than later, and until that instance occurs, remember, stay scared. And read Stephen King. Read it. Seriously, read it. Get the audiobook, you know. Start chugging through. You've got until September 6th to get it done, and your life will be so much better if you take that trip to Derry.